Aha! G'day, Dale Kingsmill here. Welcome to the Freebooters Network series for 40k noobs, where I, a total Warhammer 40k noob, also take you through the lore and history of the 40k world. We're a little ways in now, so if you have no idea what I'm talking about but would like to, I'll put a card in the top corner to take you to the first episode so you can catch up. Last we left off, the Emperor had conquered and united the humans of Earth in the Age of Strife. What did he do next? He went to the moon and set up a secret lab where he used forbidden science and warp arts to create the Primarchs. Of course he did. I mean, what else? What else are you gonna do? 20 genetically perfected warriors that the Big E wanted to lead his armies to take back the rest of humanity in the Great Crusade. Only problem, all the wee babby Primarchs were kidnapped by the gods of chaos, or sucked up by a warp vortex and scattered across the far reaches of space. So the E-Man was forced to say, screw it, guess I have to do everything myself. Utilizing the DNA of his Primarchs, Edaug created the Space Marines, a legion for each of his missing sons. Brokering peace with the tech priests of Mars, the Emperor was able to equip his army and make use of great battle cruisers with warp drives, which, hey, they could use properly because apparently now is when the Slanesh thing happened and it actually cleared up the warp storms. Thank you for pointing that out, folks. You're useful to me. I like that. Although now I'm confused again. Why were there warp storms in that case? Help me. Anyway, the E-Man begins crusading and so much is happening. So for now, we'll just focus on the Emperor's quest to rediscover his lost creations, okay? We can dig more into the other stuff later. The first Primarch he found had landed pretty dang close to our solar system, so it didn't take long. This was Horus. He's gonna be important. Horus got to, at least in part, actually grow up by his father's side, and so basically got to be E's favorite. For 30 years it was just the two of them and the rest of the early Imperium, sure, but you know what I mean. They got into all kinds of shenanigans, they saved each other's lives, there was some dismemberment involved, it was great. Then the Emperor decided it was time he really knuckled down on this most infuriating game of hide and seek ever and focused, so he handed over the reins to Horus to run the crusade for him, while he chased down each and every one of his stolen Primarchs. Second found was Leman Russ. He was literally raised by wolves. By the time the Emperor got there, Russ was running the place, since the humans of his planet had gone, wow, that guy sure is good at fighting and sure isn't a wolf, and they took him in. In a story very reminiscent to that of Thor's visit to the City of Giants in Norse mythology, which you can check out on my channel. Just saying, if you wanted to know the story. A stranger showed up one day, cloaked in runes and disguised. Of course, it was the Emperor, but Russ challenged the stranger to 3 contests. The first was a test of eating, which the Emperor lost. The second, one of drinking, which the Emperor lost also, and then a third, combat. This one raged for days in a stalemate until finally the Emperor struck Russ down with one huge gauntleted fist. Russ was impressed and all was revealed, they were reunited, and so on. Then third was a guy we're not allowed to know about. Next up, Ferrus. Ferrus noticed at a young age a bunch of weird stuff about the pod he'd arrived in and the chamber in which it had landed. Unfortunately, while investigating further, he accidentally unleashed a gigantic deadly metal space worm beast, so that's not like awesome. Eventually, after training for a real long time, he drowned it in lava, which was more awesome, but it did infuse some of the molten worm metal to his hands. He liked it though, so I guess it's fine. When the Emperor came to collect him, they fought for ages and broke some mountains, and Ferrus was so pleased to find an equal combatant that he joined up with Big E's cause. Fulgrim went on a journey, yo. He was a bright light turned baby, turned factory worker, turned engineering exec and planet ruler. His business savvy saved his planet since before he came along they were running out of resources, toot sweet. He used the opportunity once they were back in the black to foster the growth of art and culture, which is just lovely. At some point he met the E and joined up too, like they all did. Spoiler alert, but I mean, like, come on. Vulkan, as the name so subtly suggests, was raised by blacksmiths. At some point he fought off the Dark Eldar, which had been terrorizing his planet for ages, so everyone got together to celebrate with a tournament. Once again, Odin style, the Emperor shows up in disguise, asking to join the festivities and challenging Vulkan. The prize being the eternal servitude of the loser. For 8 days they competed and tied in everything. Alright, new plan, the people thought. You've both got a day to forge a weapon, and then you have to use it to climb a volcano and hunt down the biggest lizard you can find. Biggest lizard wins. At some point during this, the volcano goes ahead and erupts, nearly knocking Vulkan off a cliff, but he manages to grab onto the ledge with one hand. Now, he could pull himself back up, but that would require both hands, and he flat out refuses to drop the big ol' lizard he's still holding up miraculously by the tail. So he just dangles there for like a day, a full day. Finally, he starts thinking, alright, maybe I should just drop it, because he's getting real tired now, he's in real genuine danger of falling himself. But then E-Dog shows up, and all alarmed uses his definitely bigger lizard to make a bridge across the lava to come save Vulkan. When they get back to town, Vulkan is declared the winner, but admiring the Emperor for his character in abandoning his prize and placing more value on another human life instead, Vulkan kneels and swears fealty regardless. Dorn. Nothing much happens here. He landed somewhere icy and he had a granddad. Alright, we're about halfway through the collection and I think we might leave it there for this week because gee whiz, 20 is a lot of Primarchs, even if 2 of them are redacted from the records, whatever. Look, it's still a lot. So I hope I've cleared up some stuff for my fellow newbies. Make sure that you check the comments for corrections left by people who actually know what they're talking about. They happen and they're really useful. On that note, please leave any such corrections you might have. We really appreciate them. If you liked the video, you can like it, share it, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell, all the good stuff. You can find me talking about mythology and other nerdy stuff on my own channel, Monarchs Factory. I'm Dale Kingsmill, and I'll see you next time.